top 10 list this week focuses on giving advice to new administrative professionals, the type of advice you were given or wish you were given when you were starting your professional journey. Now, it took a lot of work to narrow it down to 10 pieces as there is so much advice that was shared. And whether you're a brand new admin or one with 30 years experience, this advice is good to follow. The first piece of advice came from many of you. In multiple forms, people advocated for you to build your network. We must build good working relationships with our colleagues, as well as those in other departments that we work with. And especially if you don't work with them often, you never know when you need to call IT, rush a check through accounting, or need someone in maintenance to fix an issue in a short timeline. Numerous people also offered our second piece of advice. They all shared the importance of ongoing education and becoming a lifelong student. Now, we know that this role is changing and has always been a high change role. Invest in your education, even if that means paying for things yourself, many said. Join a professional group to keep your skills current and develop them before you need it. It was also pointed out how vital networking is within the associations that you join as well, which links point 1 and 2 together. Another point shared about learning is that if you can take an educational course at work, always say yes when it is offered, even if it's not directly related to your role. You learn business skills that can help your role, even if you aren't using those skills right now. Now, getting to know other people at work is always worth your time. And where is there a better place to meet them than at a company-provided workshop? Shelley Wassall from Pacific, Missouri advised that we should never be afraid to ask questions. Now, for those of you who have attended my From Admin to Strategic Partner workshops, you know that I advocate for this from everyone, not just new admins. Shelley shared that a good leader will expect you to ask questions, well thought out and prepared questions. Show your strategic value. Don't assume that you know everything or that you can read minds. She also shares that your leader will appreciate that you are thirsty for knowledge and care enough about the role to ask questions up front to get things right the first time. We never stop learning. Even the most seasoned administrative professionals ask questions because they should. And Shelley says that when we stop learning, we stop breathing. And I totally agree, Shelley. Joan Burge from Las Vegas, Nevada joined our conversation again, and she advised that we need to build trust and establish strong communication between the two of you. That could mean regular meetings, as some admins have meetings weekly, monthly, or even daily. They don't have to be long, but they do have to happen. Review your projects, your deadlines, your workload. By having regular meetings, you are building trust by creating a relationship. Regular meetings provide opportunities for the two of you to communicate, which is essential to your success. Number 5 comes from Maryville's Washington and Michelle Morford. Michelle says that we can learn the most from our executives. And as mentioned above, Michelle says we need to ask questions, read everything, and listen to what they say and what they don't say, and clearly understand their expectations and need so that you can find creative solutions to help them. Now, along the same lines comes tip number 6 from Jennifer Barron in Atlanta, Georgia. Jennifer shared that she learned this valuable advice many years ago, which has helped her career. She learned that our role as administrative professionals is to help our executives be their best. And she shared honestly that she was often frustrated with the menial and time-consuming tasks that often led nowhere but took a lot of time. But once she heard the advice about making your executive be their best, she realized that when she took the frustration and time away from her executive and did those tasks herself, she freed them up to deal with the day's issues. She created the time they needed to do other tasks. Laura Thewelt from Houston, Texas advises you to negotiate your salary to the median or higher level early in your career. She tells you to seek and find the salary surveys for your industry and your location so that you know your value. Many of us know that we should do that, but justify that we don't because we're just starting out or blah, 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 whatever excuses we give ourselves. Don't do that. Don't waste precious years being underpaid and start early. Number 8 comes from Kathleen Angel from Calgary, Alberta. She advises that you should find a mentor or a coach, someone who can provide a safe place for you to ask questions, share your worries, concerns, and help you understand the things you struggle with, especially those corporate decisions. Kathleen shares that she had a mentor who had years of experience yet stayed current, and that taught her to do the same thing. I'll take Kathleen's advice a step further and tell you that when you are ready, you can also be a coach or a mentor to an admin. It keeps you on your toes, and that's always a good thing. Tracy Kempthorne from Ottawa, Ontario advises you to take all opportunities presented as they are all learning experience. If they need a volunteer for the United Way campaign, take it. If they need a safety leader for your location, take it. Anytime they were looking for someone to learn something new, put up your hand. You may learn there are some things that you are great at. As a matter of fact, that's actually how I became a trainer. They were looking for someone to answer questions on how to use our new computer in the office many years ago. And I put up my hand and said, they can call me. And it was a fabulous learning opportunity that provided me with a great career. Say yes if you can. And what I think might be the most important tip of all comes from Kathy Christodoulou from New York. Kathy says to remember not to take things personally. Like when you order lunch for a group and one person complains about everything. Now, Kathy isn't the only one who struggled with this, because for a long time I did too, and have similar horrible stories. We put our heart and soul into what we do, and we treat this role as a profession or even calling. And when someone isn't happy, we often tend to overthink things and ask what we missed or what we could have done differently. Many of us inherently blame ourselves. Don't take things personally, Kathy says. It isn't always your fault. And if you did something right and something was missed, it's not necessarily on you. There are some people who will find fault in everything, even if it's perfect. So don't take it personally. This is all great advice for most professionals to take, regardless of where they are in their careers. Feel free to add your advice in the comments below so we can all learn. And good luck.